Well, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started with this week's weekly outlook. So this is the weekly outlook for the week of December 30th. So this is officially the last week of the last couple of days of 2019. So last week was our last full trading week. This week we're going to be finishing up December, or we're going to be finishing up 2018 and jumping into a new year. So happy 2019 for all of you guys, and I am really excited to go into 2019, guys, with this much momentum. I first and foremost, before we jump into things, I really want to thank you guys, not just for being here today. While you could be doing so many things. I know most of you guys are probably on like some form of winter break or the weekend, and have been spending some time, getting prepped for the new year. But thank you guys for just being so supportive of Positive Traders. Those of you guys that have been around for a while, we've been doing these webinars for 2 years now, these Sunday weekly outlooks for almost 3 years now. We've been doing them for about 2.5 years, and this is 2018 is 1 year that I've stayed extremely consistent, especially in the past 6 months or so, staying very consistent. And my goal is to stay consistent with these for an entire year. I know that there's some weeks here and there where I haven't done them in the past because of just either personal things in my life or whatnot. But I'm excited to just keep bringing all of this value to you guys. And I do want to say, if you guys are watching this live right now, or even if you're watching the recording listening to this right now, if you could do me a huge favor and smash that like button. You don't even have to subscribe if you don't want to, but if you hit that like button, it helps with YouTube's algorithm to get this information out to more people, right? It puts me on trending pages and it shows me on people's recommended with the more people that like this. And if you like the value here, let's share it with everybody. There's not a lot of people out there that are going to share this type of stuff with people, right? A lot of people are going to make people pay for this type of information. So I do this weekly outlook every single week for you guys. And those of you guys that don't know about me, that might be tuning in for your first time, welcome here. My name is David Schinkel. I'm the CEO and founder of Positive Traders. And as long as you're subscribed down below, you'll get notified every single Sunday when I do these for free for you. There's no strings attached to these. It's just really a way for me to review. It's really for myself, really, to review the markets. But of course, I don't have to broadcast this live to do it for myself. So I really do it for you guys, to give you guys an opinion. I've been trading Forex, or been in the Forex industry for almost 5 years now. I've been trading for 3 years full time. It's been my only source of income. Now, I've leveraged Forex in a couple different ways. I trade a personal account. I trade for almost 400 clients and run a profit share that way. And I also work for a firm, or trade for a firm, some private equity for a firm, and obviously run Positive Traders. And moving into 2019, I'm also looking at starting my own brokerage, so stay tuned for details throughout 2019 that come with that. I'll definitely give you guys information about that. But thank you guys, for those of you guys that are liking this. There's some questions in the chat. I will get to the questions in the chat, guys. If you are watching this live, you have the advantage of asking me questions live that I will answer. And I mean, as long as I see them right here, I kind of just put my phone next to me and look at what comes in on the chat. So I will look at the chat every so often, and I'll make sure to answer all of your guys' questions. So if you have a question about my trade copy, if you have a question about what I do, if you have a question about one of the pairs we go over, if you have any sort of question whatsoever, I will look at the chat and I will get to them. Okay, so this is your opportunity here to ask questions live and have a professional trader asking your questions. Okay. So before we jump into things, just kind of where do we stand for the month right now? I am up, my clients, my students, everybody that I trade for, the firm that I trade for, all of our accounts are up 6% for the month right now. So that's actually some really nice gains. I aim to make anywhere between 3 and 5% in a month, so I'm past my target. So what that also means is, I'm taking it easy right now. If this might be your first time trading towards the end of the year, your first end of year trading in Forex, what you need to know is that liquidity really dries up. There's not a lot of liquidity towards, especially the last couple days. We're talking like the last week and the first couple days of January, right? Institutional traders, commercial traders, banks. A lot of banks are closed right now. A lot of institutional and commercial traders are done trading for the year. They've closed their positions and they're, spending time with their family. They've gotten their big bonuses, spending time doing whatever, traveling or whatever. Those of you guys that have been following me too, you guys know I just got back from being in Thailand for 2 months. So we're going to get to the charts in about a minute or two here, guys. Just want to give you guys some updates very quickly. Most important update everybody's asking me about is the course, all right? Now, I just got back from Thailand on the 23rd, guys, and I was out in California. So I've been kind of juggling a couple things the past couple of days. I am moving. Those of you guys that have been following me and listening to my updates, you guys know that I am relocating from California, where I've been in and out of when I've been traveling the world for the past year and a half or so, and I am just settling down finally. I'm not doing much traveling for the next year. Maybe a couple things like in the summer or whatnot, but I'm not going to be traveling like every single month, every couple weeks like I have been the past year. So I'm settling down, building myself like a whole trading office, a trading suite, and going to be really focused, pushing out as much content for you guys. But I'm going to be doing that in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm relocating from California to Arizona. And that's taken a little bit of time to prepare for that move. Not only that, but if you guys have ever been to Thailand from the West Coast in the US, it's about a 15 or 14-hour time difference, depending on with daylight savings being on and off. So I've actually been extremely jet lagged since I got back, way more jet lagged than I thought I would be. So my whole body clock has been pretty messed up, except for, I just finally got it in sync the past couple days. So finishing up these videos are taking just a little bit longer. We're probably going to be pushing into the first couple days of January, but I promise you guys, those of you that are waiting patiently for these courses, and I appreciate your patience, this is no short task, guys. This is no easy task. Just to kind of just talk about this for a second or two, most people that have a Forex course, or really any course, like there's so many courses that you can buy online nowadays for like e-commerce, mastering social media, Facebook ads, whatever it is, stock markets, this and that. Most people's course, they might have like 20 or 30 lessons, and you add up the total time of those lessons, and it's like, 5 hours or, 7 hours, 8 hours. We're looking at actually, I don't know. Let me know, guys, if the stream is offline for you. I'm not really sure what's going on. Okay, we should be good. I said that it was offline for a second. But most people that are that have a course for somebody, they only are like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours long. This is literally, I haven't done the exact count, but somewhere around 40 or 50 or it might even be up to 60 or 70 hours. So this is a very in-depth course, guys, and it's taken me a lot of time. And also, this is the first time I've ever done a type of like long format course like this. So just please be very patient while I'm finishing these, but it's not going to take much longer. I will keep you guys updated with the process, and everything is going to be done. And I'm just excited for you guys to see this. I'm excited for everybody to be on the same page. I'm excited for you guys to, I think if you guys really truly pay attention and you've been with me for a couple of years, you should have a pretty good understanding of how I trade and how I do things. But for those of you guys that want a step-by-step process and might need that structure in your learning process, this is going to give you that, okay? So let's get into the juicy stuff. Thank you for just bearing with me for about 9 minutes there while I just kind of gave you updates and thanked you guys. But here we go for the week, okay? The only big things this week, you can see that, of course, we have tomorrow is the last day of the year, and then we have New Year's. There's a lot of bank holidays over the next couple of days. And then just to finish off the week, the main thing is we have non-farm payrolls, okay? So we have December's non-farm payrolls. All of that data is going to be being released on the first Friday on January 4th, and we'll definitely see how the US dollar reacts to that. I'm not really interested in trading around that time. We also have Powell speaking, so the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Mr. Jerome Powell, is going to be speaking shortly after non-farm payrolls is released on Friday. So we'll see what happens around that time. Just keep in mind that's our key risk event. But here we are, guys. Let me give you guys my bias for the week, okay? And this is for the short term. I think that this bias is intact for at least the next 2 or 3 weeks, okay? This is where I am. All right, I am looking for sells on the US dollar short term, okay? Could this short term develop into a long-term bias on the dollar? Absolutely. But what we're going to start off with is a short-term bias, or I'm going to start off with the short-term bias on the dollar index, okay? So what that means on pairs like Euro USD, I'm going to expect Euro USD to continue rising. Gold, I'm going to expect gold to continue rising. Just to touch on gold very quickly, those of you guys that have been paying attention and following along with these weekly outlooks for the past couple months, you guys will know that my long-term outlook on gold, I've said, for those of you guys that know it, comment in the chat room what the price is, but it's been $12.65. I've said that not just like the past week or the past couple weeks. I've literally been saying it for months now, since we really found a bottom. For those of you guys that are in my group, you guys know that we actually bought gold back here early for the second week of October. It was actually like October right here on this daily candle in this area between, I don't remember the exact day it was either the 9th, the 10th, or the 11th. I think it was actually the 11th on this, or the 10th, and then the very next day we saw gold rise. But we actually took a buy on gold. I believe it was at like 1193 is where we took our buy on gold, and we had our stop loss just below these daily lows. Our stop loss, I believe, was at 1180 or 1178, one of those two. I think it was actually a 50 pip stop loss. So it was like 1183, something around there. But I know, I mean, regardless, it smashed our take profit. We took profits a little bit early. We took profits at the end of this rally just because of how violently and how quickly gold moved. We don't necessarily see gold move that fast if you look at the bullish daily candles on gold. So we weren't really sure if it was going to come back down, if this is maybe a liquidity spike for, you know, a bull trap or not. But we ended up seeing that this did follow through with what we wanted to see. So 1265 was hit. Now just because my target of 1265 is hit doesn't mean we automatically start to look for sells on gold. I'm definitely very observant of price action right now, and in short, without having to make some long drawn out conversation on gold, it looks bullish. Okay, gold looks bullish, not just from a fundamental standpoint, but from a technical standpoint as well. We are seeing a rise in gold, not just because of the dollar falling, right? The dollar actually really hasn't fallen that much. It's still been pretty consolidative, but there's been a lot of the past couple weeks, a lot of hype, I guess, with the stock market, right? If you guys have looked at, this is right here, this is the Dow Jones, and this right here is the S&P 500. They pretty much do the exact same, but they're based on the stock market, right? The S&P 500 is the top 500 performing markets, or the top 500 by market cap in the stock market. And then we have the Dow Jones, which is 30, okay, which is so a little bit of a cleaner index, if you will, but they pretty much do the same thing. And with that decline that we've seen over the past couple weeks on the stock market, we've seen a lot of investors take their money out of the stock market and put it into commodities like gold. I will tell you guys right now that I do believe that the US, or at least the stock market, is probably in the midst of the beginning of some type of recession. There's actually technicals that define when a recession starts. Off the top of my head, and I'm just being honest and transparent with you guys, off the top of my head, and I'm not going to just guess a number to sound like super smart, because the stock market doesn't really affect too much of my Forex trading, right? It's just good to understand the correlations between the two, but we did see that criteria met. I forget the exact criteria, but there is a specific criteria that says when the stock market moves down, or let's say like the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones moves down a certain percent in a certain period of time, that's the technical indicators of a recession beginning. So not just that, but also if we just look at the stock market in general, right? We've been fairly bullish the past couple years. I mean, pretty much since the last recession, where price fell off for a while, and then we've recovered over the past decade or so. I think we're in the beginning of a recession. I think that's just the easiest way to put it, guys, okay? So dollar index, I am bearish on the dollar index short term. I am also, so that means I'm bullish on gold. I am bullish on Euro USD over the next week or two at least. That may transition into a longer time frame. AUD USD, I am definitely bullish on. We have this fundamental backing across the board, but there's also technical backing across the board on AUD USD. We're getting towards a very significant level of support. So be looking for those of you guys that are swing traders, position traders, long-term traders, start looking at these types of setups. USD CAD, I know that this has been one that has been talked about for a while all over social media, and I see a lot of reason to be looking for a sell on USD CAD soon. Might not happen this week, but in the next week or so, I think finding a short on USD CAD is probably going to offer the best risk to reward scenario. I think it's a better risk off scenario to the downside on USD CAD. And I just want you guys to, I just want to point out one thing, right? Now let me be very clear that there's a million ways to be profitable in Forex, right? There's people that will compile data and have a very analytical approach to Forex and be successful. There's people that won't look at any data and have like no compilation of data, and they'll just look at charts and they'll be successful. And there's traders that don't even look at charts. They have no technical influence on their trades, and they just look at the fundamentals, and they're successful. So the point I'm trying to make is there's not one way to be successful, guys. You need to understand that there's multiple ways to look at the market, and there's so many ways to gauge what the market is doing and have your own decision making. So what I'm going to show you guys right now is just one thing I've noticed. Now, does it mean is it the leading factor of why I'm looking at selling USD CAD? Absolutely not. But it's just one piece of confluence, a larger piece of confluence in my opinion, but just something interesting to point out in the markets, okay? And it goes like this. Here, if we take the rally that began in September in September of 2017, and we were just to like measure from the bottom of this rally to the top of the rally, okay? That's about 850 pips, right? We'll just call it about 850 pips. Now, let's take this second rally that we saw, okay, and go to the top. About 850 pips, right? Between 850, we can call it like 830 to 870 pips, right? About a 50. I'm sorry, guys, if you can hear me, we're going to keep going. Hopefully things are still good. Okay, we should be all right. I'm sorry. Sorry if the Wi-Fi is cutting a little bit now, guys. I need to get everything situated, and I'm still in California, right? The Wi-Fi is for some reason not that great here. Those of you guys that watch these things, I can't promise you anything I don't 100% know, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I have the most consistent, best Wi-Fi that I can, because that bugs me too, guys, when it cuts out. Like, obviously I don't like when it happens, okay? But hopefully you guys are still here with me, and you understood the point of what I'm trying to say. I don't know where it cut out at, but I think you guys got this, that all four of these rises, we've moved up about 850 pips on USD CAD before we saw a correction, okay? So that adds some confluence, but also we are at the 2017 highs, okay? We're at last year's highs. So this offers some good risk to reward. Now, we definitely need to look. Oh, I got a message that says audio is too low. How's the audio, guys? Is the audio too low? I can turn it up a little bit if we need to. I can turn it up a little bit if you guys can't hear me that well. All right. I turned it up just a little bit. All right. I had somebody just message me right now that it's a little low. Okay. I turned it up a little bit. But we're back to last year's highs. So I'm not just saying short here just because we saw price go up 850 pips like it has 3 times previously and then dropped. I'm not saying to short here just because we're at 2017 highs. What I'm trying to say, guys, is just watch price action. Watch for potential reversal patterns, okay? PRPs, potential reversal patterns, okay? Because we are right now at a PRZ, a potential reversal zone. So we need to find patterns that confirm that price is reversing, okay? Please, the biggest thing that I don't want you guys to do is be looking at this and say, oh, well, David, I know he's a professional trader. He manages all these accounts. He's had all this success in Forex, and he's giving some valid points of why to short here. and I'm just going to short everything I have. I'm going to over leverage my account and risk, 90% of my account, and I'm just going to, short it because David said. That's not what I want you to do, guys, okay? I don't think any trade, and I know that there's Forex educators out there, guys. I've literally seen people that sell signals and have a group and do all this stuff and literally tell people this trade is good. Go high risk on this trade. And it blows my mind. It really does blow my mind when people say those types of things. Like you will not have success long term. Like you have to think big money, guys. You have to think like long term. If you had an account that had $100,000 in it, or you had an account that had $1 million in it, would you like go high risk? Would you risk 80% of that account? If someone gave you $100,000 right now, or you grew your account over time to $100,000, would you risk $80,000 of that on one trade just because you want the potential to try to turn that $100,000 into $200,000 on one trade? You want to try to flip your account? Absolutely not. Now, I know it's a different perspective, right? So it all is perspective at the end of the day, because maybe some of you guys are like, well, I only have $200, so I don't care about if I lose this $200. Well, guys, if you lose that $200, that's still $200. To some of you guys, that might not be a lot of money, but to the rest of the world, if you look at the statistics, it's like more than 51% of the world lives on less than $1 a day, right? So be very grateful for what you have and understand that, if you see your $50 account or your $100 account or your $200 account is not a lot of money, guys, it will add up. If you continue to blow accounts and have to refund accounts just because you're going high leverage and trying to hit a home run on each trade, guys, that's really going to add up over time. So you need to have that mindset shift. You need to have that paradigm shift. That's really what it takes, guys. To those of you guys that are listening and you want to know what it takes to be a successful trader, it takes having a disciplined mindset. Nothing else. Like literally nothing else. You don't need to have tons of money. You don't need to be the smartest guy. You don't need to have a high IQ. You don't have to be super intelligent to be able to be a successful trader. What you need to be able to do is to be able to discipline your emotions. You need to be able to discipline yourself to be, strong enough to say, okay, even though this trade looks great, even though that there's a lot of things that are looking like it's going to go in my favor, I need to still risk 1% or 2% of my account and keep my risk intact. And that's what it takes, guys. And at the end of the day, you can listen to what I'm saying and you don't have to follow what I'm saying, right? Like I don't control what you do. You're your own human being at the end of the day, but we'll know who's where in 5 years from now. Like I might, and I'm very transparent with you guys, and a lot of you guys know this about me. I haven't made millions of dollars in the foreign exchange market, right? I don't claim to be some 7-figure income earner through the Forex markets, okay? Now, have I made multiple 6 figures in Forex? Absolutely, okay? But it's been because I have compounded my account over the past 4 years or so, okay? My first year of trading, I didn't have the right direction with Forex. I didn't go into it with the right mindset. I went into it with like most of how your guys' mindsets are, right? Or how most people's are mindsets at the very beginning, right? That it's some way I'm gonna, flip my account and I'm gonna solve all my problems and quit my job in 3 months and, be living on an island in 1 year from now and have a Ferrari and a $10 million house in Beverly Hills in 1 year from now. Like, I know it's crazy. A lot of us think that that's the way it's going to be, like when you first get into Forex, but I think a lot of us start to realize over time that it's not really the way it happens, right? And then it starts to turn into this long journey, which is great. Enjoy the journey, guys, because really anything in life that's going to be easy, it's never going to be worth it. I say this all the time. You guys have probably heard me. Those of you guys that follow me hear this all the time, right? Anything in life that is easy isn't going to be worth it. And anything that's going to be worth it and going to be long lasting and going to be able to give you this long-lasting wealth and this long-lasting foundation, well, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to take, not a lot of time. It's going to take some time, guys. So think about it. Like 10 years, 5 years is not a long time in perspective, okay? I know there might be some of you guys that are a little bit older watching this. If you're in your 40s or your 50s, maybe 10 years can seem like a lot to you, but 99% of you guys listening to this right now are between the ages of 18 and 25 years old, or even 18 and 30 years old, even if you're in your 30s, like you're still young. Like, would you rather like grind and I mean, well, not grind, but would you rather like have to be a slave to the world literally for the next 40 to 50 years of your life? Or would you just rather like drop your ego, put it to the side, sacrifice the next 5 to 10 years, sacrifice the next decade of your life grinding and working hard and being patient and compounding your account? And I'm not saying that you just have to do Forex, guys. Like literally, it's to the point now where I get on a webinar with my students 4 times a week, right? So that's about an hour, 4 times a week. Plus on top of that, I probably spend another 2 hours a day, in the charts, whether it's fundamentals, reading the news, or whatever it is, So I'm spending on average each week, let's say 15 hours a week on Forex, okay? I have all the rest of the time to do other things. I've recently started getting into real estate investing, right? Next year I'm going to be investing into a lot more rate funds, real estate investment trusts, very similar to like, I'm not doing what Grant Cardone does because Grant Cardone doesn't allow investing to non-accredited investors right now. And I'm not trying to get to diverge too much, but this is still the point of what I'm trying to say, guys, is like, just because you're sacrificing time to learn Forex, it's going to be a grind and a process in the beginning, right? I remember when I started Forex, guys, I was spending 12 hours a day on the charts. I was going to work my 8 hours and I was getting very, very little sleep. And the rest of my time was literally on the charts. I was spending so much time on the charts, so much time grinding, but I was putting in what we call sweat equity. I was putting in the time that it takes to learn this skill, guys. And now it's to the point where I'm able to leverage my skill to be able to reduce the amount of time that I have to put into it, but I'm actually able to get more results and better results than I was, when I was putting in 12 hours a day, because I've disciplined myself and I've gotten to a point of exponential growth with Forex. And if you guys have ever heard of the 4 competence levels, I'm at the 4th level with Forex, or what I feel like I'm at the 4th level of Forex, which is unconscious competence, right? If you don't know what the 4 competence levels are, I'm not going to get into it right now, but Google 4 competence levels. There's a lot of really good articles on it. And your goal is to get at that 4th, that peak, which is unconscious competence. Okay, that's where you want to be, is you want to be able to do something without having to think about it. Okay, and now I'm able to leverage my time where next year I'm able to open up my own brokerage to have even another source of income through Forex. And then I'm going to get into real estate investing. And I've seen a lot of people making a lot of good money in the e-commerce space. So I might not learn e-commerce for myself. I might pay a friend. I might leverage my money and pay somebody, $20,000 or whatever to build me a store and have it all automated. And that's what Forex income has allowed me to do, guys, is leverage my time, leverage my money to have other things. And if you're into other things, let's say you're already into real estate, or you're into like e-commerce, you're into Facebook ads, you're into SEO, you're into whatever, you can take that money and now you can put it into Forex, right? But let me also be very clear, is with diversifying, don't diversify until you've mastered one thing, right? If you've been focusing for the past couple of years on e-commerce, keep focusing on that, right? Hone your skills down, get that good enough to where you're a master at e-commerce, and then you can diversify into other things. If you've been learning real estate for the past couple of years, stick with it, guys, okay? Anybody that is successful, anybody that has made 6 figures or 7 figures or 8 figures, 9, 10 figures, however much in their life has made a significant amount of money doing something, they will always tell you that the way they made their money, the biggest, most lucrative part of making their money was because they didn't give up. Well, those times when they wanted to give up, those times when they were in their lows, they didn't want to give up. So for you, if you've been in Forex for the past couple of years, like myself, don't give up. Okay, don't just stop. Don't just stop. Okay, don't give up. All right. And then just to so sorry to digress so much, but to get back on track, USD Singapore dollar. Also, I'm looking for some sells on USD Singapore dollar, some short-term sells on USD SGD. Okay, so these are the pairs I'm interested in. I know in the very beginning somebody was asking about pound dollar, so I will say with GBP USD, I am bearish on pound dollar right now, or just the pound in general. Okay, but pound dollar, I'd be more bearish than I am bullish. But pound, The pound overall, I'm bearish on. We could see GBP find some strength, because if we do see some strength behind Euro USD and we do see some weakness in the dollar, then that could be a catalyst for specifically pound dollar to move higher. But I think a pair like pound CAD, we could start to see some downside on. Pound yen, I am still quite bearish on pound yen. I think pound yen has a lot more ways to drop. I will tell you, actually, I'm going to mark this off, guys, too, okay? So if you have your trading journals, if you're taking notes right now, I would highly recommend writing down, you know, at least if you're just writing like David's bias, right? David's opinion. You know, I don't want my opinion to be your opinion. And something I can't believe I even forgot to say this in the very beginning, but at least it's in here, is that what you guys are listening to right now, this is not should not be used for financial or investment advice. Okay, it should only be used for educational, informational purposes only. Okay, so that's my disclaimer. Okay, don't be taking what I say as, you know, the word of the markets and it's going to move in this direction. Okay, I am a very profitable trader long term, but that doesn't, if you guys look at my FX book, I'm only between a 50 and a 60% trader, right? I only win 50 to 60% of my trades. Do I care about that? No, I don't care about my win rate at all. If I saw a 20% win rate, I wouldn't care, because I know I'm still profitable long term. There are a lot of traders out there. You guys should really do some research into traders. I know I've mentioned this before, but one trader in particular, his name is Richard Dennis. There's another one, I can't remember it off the top of my head. Someone sent me a nice article on him. Anthony, you sent me a nice article on Facebook the other day about him. But he was about like a 10% or 20% trader as well. But they made multi-millions, multi-billions of dollars in the Forex markets because they understood how to leverage risk to reward over time, right? And compounding over time. Your win rate does not matter, guys. If you hear somebody boasting, oh, I have a 90% win rate, I win 70% of my trades, it doesn't matter, because it matters how they set up their trades. You can win 90% of your trades and still be a losing trader, okay? You might be asking yourself, how? Well, imagine this, right? Take 10 trades. Let's say you take 10 trades. Let's say 9 of them win and you make a little bit of money on those 9 trades, but you have no sense of risk management, and on that 10th losing trade, that one losing trade, you over leverage, and then you lose everything you made on those 9 previous trades, and then you end up losing more money than you had before the start of any of these 10 trades. Well, then you're a losing trader at the end of the day, but you can call yourself a 90% win or 90% accurate trader, right? But you're still a loser at the end. Like, I'm not saying loser is who you are as a person. I'm saying a loser as a trader at the end of the day. Right? So understand that your win rate does not matter. Don't focus on your win rate, guys. Don't focus on how many blue trades you close in MetaTrader 4. Don't focus on that. Focus on the quality of your trades and what the risk to reward is. How much on that trade were you risking to make? Okay? So many of you guys watching this right now probably don't even use a stop loss. You don't even know how to use a stop loss or how to risk a couple percentage on your account. So let me just drop a knowledge bomb on you guys very quickly. Let me just pull up one thing and I will we'll kind of start to wrap this up. Maybe a couple other things to just go over very quickly, but this is what you guys need to use, okay? If you don't know how to find this, just Google it, okay? Just go to Google and type in my FX book position size calculator, okay? Then once you get on here, press Command D on your computer, on your keyboard, and bookmark this, okay? You need to use this religiously, all right? And then it's very simple. All of you guys that have a little bit of common sense should be able to use this properly, right? You put in your account size. That's very self-explanatory. You put in the risk ratio. So what percentage of your account are you willing to lose? Okay, is it 1%? Is it 2%? Is it 3%? Is it 0.5%? How much, what percentage are you willing to lose? Okay, or if you want to switch it to money, switch it to money. Okay, how much money of your account, if you have a $1,000 account, how much money are you willing to lose? Are you willing to lose $50? Or 5%, which would be $50. How much are you willing to lose? And then you put in your stop loss. So when you set up your trade and you decide, okay, this is where I'm going to enter my trade at, This is where my stop loss is going to be. This is where my take profit is going to be. Well, that's your stop loss in the amount of pips. Do you have a 50 pip stop loss? Do you have a 120 pip stop loss? Do you have a 15 pip stop loss? What's your stop loss? And then you put all this in, you put in the pair that you're going to trade. Let's say you're trading Euro CAD, boom. And then it tells you right here that this is the lot size that you're supposed to use, okay? All right? And that's another thing, guys, is I will tell you right now, if you are you guys want to listen, okay, listen to this, guys. This is going to be a big knowledge bomb. This is how to tell if somebody is a straight scam artist, okay? If you are following a trader, if you're following a company, or you're following somebody on Instagram, or you're paying for somebody's service, or you're following a Telegram, and they tell you that, and they give you a little chart that says, oh, for every $1,000, risk 0.10. In every $10,000, risk one lot. In every $100, risk 0.01. Guys, they are a straight scam artist. They have no understanding of risk management. They have no understanding of how a position size calculator works. Ask them. If you have a Forex mentor, if you have somebody other than myself that you're following that you consider as valuable information, send them a message. Be like, how do I use the position size calculator? Or do you use the position size calculator? And if they tell you no, I'm not even saying this because, guys, it's not even opinion based. Like, it's not an opinion if you should use this. Oh, I think this would be good to use. I think I should use this. No, guys, if you aren't using this, you aren't going to be profitable because there's no way that you can understand. Like, there's no way you would know to use a 0.18 lot size on Euro CAD if you're trying to risk 15 pips on a $1,000 account. Like, there's no way you can logically do that just in your head, right? So it doesn't make any sense, okay? So just a little red flag for all of you guys that are following people out there that tell you to use X lot size per X account balance, okay? So in short, for a recap, and then I'm gonna get to your guys' questions here. I guess just as I think your mic is covered, sounds fine here. Okay, I'm gonna look at the chat in just a moment. But just to recap, this is what I am looking at for the next week or two. It could extend to 3 or 4 weeks. Is I'm going to be looking for some strength on Euro USD. I'm going to be looking for some weakness on Pound Yen. I'm going to be looking for some strength on AUD USD. I'm going to be looking for some weakness on USD CAD, and I'm going to be looking for some weakness on USD Singapore dollar. Okay, now these could transform. I could add some pairs to my analysis. I could subtract some of these pairs if they turn out to, or I see other pairs that look better. If you're a student of mine, which my student group is currently closed, but if you are a student of mine listening to this, of course, we meet every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, except for this Monday and Tuesday until the new year starts. Actually, I'm sorry, wait, let me just look at the calendar very quickly. Calendar is, okay, on the 2nd is when we'll meet. If you guys are a student of mine, we're not meeting tomorrow, we're not meeting on Tuesday, but we are meeting on Wednesday, okay? Because tomorrow, a lot of banks are closed, still the end of the year. Tuesday is New Year's, obviously, banks are closed then, not too much liquidity, and we will pick up for our first student webinar on Wednesday the 1st, okay, if you're a student of mine, okay? And this is what I'm looking for. Now, to give you guys a little bit of an update, besides my course that is coming out over the next, I don't know if it's gonna be in the next couple of days. All I know is I need to get settled. I need to finish off the year. I'm obviously in San Diego spending New Year's out here. It's very difficult for me to do filming out here when I'm not in my element. I'm not comfortable where I am. And I need to settle into where I'm moving into, so I need to finish off my course. But besides that getting finished and released onto social media, guys, there will be, and by the way, write your questions in the chat if you guys have any right now, but there will be probably some opportunities throughout 2019, very limited. It's not going to be open all the time like I had it open the past couple of years. It's going to be very exclusive. I'm going to open my mentorship group and my student group to a couple people at a time as I progress. But the prices are going to go up, guys. I've charged one price for everybody to join, which is $1,000 for people to join one time. You pay $1,000 one time, you get lifetime access to everything that I do. Lifetime access for forever, for as long as I continue to do everything, which is not stopping anytime soon, guys. Many, many, many years for all of my services to come. My trade copiers specifically, lifetime members get access to 0%, which I'm not actually going to offer that anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna have to release the details. But point I'm trying to make, guys, is prices are going to go up. There will be a time and a place when it will cost $5,000 to be a student under what I do, because of how intensive everything is and how much value I give out to people. And obviously, the more money you spend on something, the more serious you are, the more serious you're going to take it. And that's really all I want moving forward, is anybody that enters my student group, I want you committed. I want you to be a serious, committed student. I'm not trying to have somebody that's joining, trying to flip their account and try to get rich quick. I need people that see the vision, plan on being here long term, and have that long-term vision. Because at the end of the world, guys, at the end of the day, guys, these returns that I do are ridiculous. These are ridiculous returns. Averaging 3% a month, month over month, that's what my monthly average is if we look at it on a year. Averaging 3% a month, year over year, like, some of you guys might not understand how powerful that is, but if you were to call up somebody that has some serious net worth, somebody that has tens of thousands of dollars to invest, guys, that's crazy returns, insane returns. Like that's why I know my value, I know what I'm doing, and so that's actually why I closed my student group, is because I'm more focused. I want to focus on the students that I have now, and I want to focus on my clients, and I want to focus on my own trading for my firm, so I can get to the point. My goal, I'm already trading multiple seven figures, but between all of my clients' money and all of the firm money. But my goal is by the end of 2019 is to be trading minimum 8 figures and managing minimum 8 figures. And the only way I'm going to get there is by having people that have the long-term vision. So just a heads up, guys, like, don't sleep on this information. Don't think that the next time I open up a student group, it's just going to stay at the $1,000 that it has been for the past year. So it's going to keep going up. I'm just going to go through the questions real quick, loud and clear. I think the mic is covered. Okay, you guys can hear everything. Denford asks, Casa asks, besides Darren Hardy, do you have any suggestions on books to read that will help mold a good trading mindset? I actually just picked up 2 hard copies. I was at the Amazon bookstore yesterday. I mean, they're good just for like lifestyle and self-development. There's a guy named Don Miguel Ruiz, I think that's his last name, but he has something called The 4 Agreements, and then the second book that I got, The Study of Self, The Mastery of Self. That's a great one. But Napoleon Hill, guys. Napoleon Hill has 2 great books. The first one, I'm sure most of you guys have heard of it. And let me just be straight up with you guys, okay? Don't freaking, I wanted to cuss there for a second, but I'm trying to stay good on the language. Don't lie to yourself, okay? Just because I'm sure all of you guys up here have heard of the book Think and Grow Rich, but I guarantee maybe 5 of you guys, probably not even 5 of you guys listening to this, have actually read the book. You probably like lie to yourself or like tell other people you've read the book. Like, just read the freaking book, guys. Read Think and Grow Rich. If you want something that will change your life, read Think and Grow Rich. That is hands down one of the best books that I have ever read. And then he has a follow-up book to Think and Grow Rich called Outwitting the Devil. So those are both by Napoleon Hill. There's a book called The 48 Laws of Power, which is amazing. If you just want to like learn how to like crush your mindset and grow everything, I forget the author, but 48 Laws of Power is amazing. None of these are related to trading, by the way, but like really, like, I mean, there's great trading books out there, but really like I said, what matters long term is your mindset. You need to get your mindset down if you plan on doing this long term. Those are some good books. I'm trying to think off the top of my head some other great ones. Robert Kiyosaki or Kiyosaki. I'm sorry, I'm definitely butchering his name, but Rich Dad Poor Dad is an amazing book. Guys, there's so many good books out there. I mean, I would have to like look at I should probably actually write a list so I can give you guys these off the top of my head. There's so many amazing good books. Those are just some of them. If you missed me, if I was saying them too fast, just watch the recording. But if you read literally just those books that I said, your life will be changed forever. Straight up forever. And just read those books, guys. Start with Think and Grow Rich. If you want my recommendation, get Audible, download Audible on your smartphone, and listen to them on Audible. It's so much easier to, at least for me, the way my brain works. I have terrible ADD, guys. My brain goes a million miles an hour. It's so hard for me to focus on words on a page. I have to end up like rereading a sentence like 10 times before I can even like understand what that one sentence said, because my mind is thinking of so many things. But when I am listening to an audiobook, I'm able to zone everything out, and an audiobook is just the way to go, guys. You know, use our resources, right? Audiobook is something that we have. Denford asks, what's the difference between MT4 and MT5? MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. MetaTrader 4 is just kind of the industry standard. There's more support for MetaTrader 4. I'm trying to remember. I forgot. I was looking at it the other day. There's one thing that MetaTrader 5 does, but it doesn't really matter. If you want my opinion, don't use MetaTrader 5. Use MetaTrader 4. Lee says MT5 has more indicators and drawing tools. Okay, interesting. Not worth it for me. Yeah, no. I mean, if you guys see how I'm doing things on my screen right now, I obviously, as you can see on my screen, I use TradingView for a majority of my markups and charts. It's also nice because it's internet based. So if for some reason, I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but if for some reason I'm not able to get on my computer or something and I need to check the charts, go on like a friend's laptop or something, I can log into TradingView on their computer and pulls up all my charts, all my drawing, everything exactly how I need it to be. And then I do trading off of MetaTrader 4, which you can see. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, I don't think you can see the bottom of my screen, all my apps, but I have FX Choice, the MetaTrader 4 version at the bottom. MT5 is slippy. If account is blown, time to take risk. Yeah, exactly. If account is blown, time to take responsibility. Justin says, I will join your group and stay long term. No joke. Awesome, Justin. Find me on social media. Shoot me a message. David Green, Kiyosaki. That's his name. Kiyosaki. Fourth Quadrant. I haven't heard of Fourth Quadrant. Rings a bell, though. I mean, I have heard of it. I haven't read it, is what I mean to say. Casa says, goes back to what you said, prepping doesn't trump implementation. Absolutely, guys. So I hope, I'll leave you guys with these words is, I hope nothing for the best. I wish nothing but the best for you guys in 2019. And all I ask for you guys to do is be real with yourself. You know, if you have gone the past couple years making New Year's resolutions, ask yourself, how many times have you made a New Year's resolution, said you're going to do this, said you're going to do that, and then you're here now, right in this current present moment as I'm speaking to you, and that hasn't come true? You know, what does it break down to? 90% of the time, it breaks down to mindset. You know, what's your goal? Is your goal to master trading? It doesn't matter if your goal is to master trading. It doesn't matter if your goal is to lose weight. It doesn't matter if your goal is to get into better shape. It doesn't matter if your goal is to break out of that 9 to 5, whether it's physically or just the 9 to 5 mentality, whether it's to have a better relationship with somebody in your life, whether it's to stop drinking, whether it's to stop smoking weed, whether it's to stop spending money on stupid stuff, whether it's to, do this or that. 90% of goals, guys, are not even 90%, more than that. Every goal that you want to achieve can only be achieved if you have the mindset to achieve it, okay? So if you want my opinion, read a couple books, guys, okay? Get a couple good personal development books. Pick up Think and Grow Rich. Let me just show you guys this. Literally, I'm pretty sure I have Think and Grow Rich right here in audio version. Literally, okay, you guys want this? Literally, I'll copy it. Take a picture with this if you need. I just Google search this. But you can go on here. Now, I've read Think and Grow Rich. I have the Audible. I found this because somebody was asking for the free version of this, so I found this for them. You can literally go on here and you can just click on a chapter and boom, it'll start playing right here. You don't even have to pay, guys. This information is free for you. You can literally play it and it'll just talk to you. It'll say it right here. So you don't even need to pay. I mean, you should be able to afford $10 for an Audible book, but if you can't afford that $10 right now, well, boom, it's right here. It's thanks2net.com/think_and_grow_rich-free.html. Okay, take a picture with this with your phone if you need to. But there's so many ways that you can do, guys. It's just like, how bad do you want it? You know, how bad do you want to be successful? Okay, because if you want to be successful in this, you guys want these charts to come successful to you, you need to work on every other aspect of your life, okay? Because it's like that saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you aren't ready, if you aren't prepped to grow your mindset, if you aren't ready to become disciplined, then you aren't ready to become a full-time trader, okay? You can't be lacking in every other aspect of your life and then just magically expect to be great at trading. No, you need to have everything going good for you in your life. You need to be doing good stuff. You need to be focusing on your health. You need to be focusing on your relationships. You need to be on the up and up. You need to be in tune with yourself and be in tune with the present. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? I know some of you guys might think I'm crazy talking about this stuff, but a majority of you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? You guys know how this world works and how everything works, okay? If you understand manifestation, if you understand growing yourself and becoming a better person financially, physically, mentally, every aspect, it starts with mindset, okay? So you need to grow your mindset. And like I said, I think one of the best books is Think and Grow Rich. There's a bunch of other ones that I just said a couple minutes ago, but among everything, at least for me personally, and I know for a lot of other people personally as well, that Think and Grow Rich has helped develop their mindset, okay? Also, anything by Dale Carnegie is really good. He's a little bit older. I mean, Napoleon Hill is old too, but anything by Dale Carnegie is amazing as well. You know, I know people have some mixed feelings about Kevin Trudeau, if you guys have heard of Kevin Trudeau, but he does have one very good audio series called Your Wish is Your Command. You can literally search it on YouTube. Your Wish is Your Command. That's another great one. He talks about pretty much the power of manifestation and literally having anything in this life that you want. You know, for me personally, one thing I really wanted to do was to learn and become a professional trader. And I had this undying, burning desire to just become a master at Forex, guys. And, you know, I still am a student to the game. I'm still learning stuff every single day. Maybe not every single day, but every single month I'm learning something new. Every single year my trading is growing exponentially. And, you know, it's just up to you guys. Like, do you want to sit on the sidelines and watch other people become successful? Because I know where I'm going, guys. I know exactly where I'm going. I know in 5 years I'm going to be managing, hopefully, hundreds of millions or billions of dollars of money. And I'm going to be making a little percentage, or like, you know, 30%, 40%. I guess that's a big percentage. But what I mean is I'm going to be growing those accounts a couple percentage per month, where some of you guys probably listening to this are like, oh, 2% a month is nothing. 3% a month is nothing. Well, you're completely wrong. You're totally wrong if you think 2% a month is nothing, 3% a month is nothing. If you can consistently grow your account and show proof to other people and other investors that you can grow your account consistently 3% a month, you will get handed hundreds of millions of dollars to trade for. And in turn, you can, like, let's just pull up a calculator real quick, guys. This is what I'll leave you guys off with, just so you can have something. Now, obviously, this is all hypothetical, but I'm just trying to give you guys something tangible to really look at, okay? Let's just take $10 million. Let's take $10 million, and let's say you're managing $10 million on a profit share where, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, when you get to the point that I am, where you get to actually pick how much you keep, right? You set up an account where people can copy your trades, and you literally choose how much percentage you get to keep. So for me personally, with my investors, I keep 35% of what I make for my investors, okay? My investors get to keep the other 65% above the highest watermark. Okay, now let's say, now I'm not at $10 million right now, right? I'm managing over 7 figures. I'm not at 8 figures yet, but I'm just trying to give you, like, this is what I look at. This is what motivates me, and this is why I know the direction I'm going. So I know where I'm going, but let's just take 3% of this, right? Let's say you make 3%. Let's say on average you're making 3% a month on whatever you're managing, okay? So that means on average, you're making $300,000 a month for this account, right? That can sometimes, some months will be less, sometimes will be more, okay? And then let's say you're making 35% of that, okay? I mean, that's $105,000 in a month right there. Would $105,000 in 1 month change your life? Would that change your family's life and in every generation down in your family forever? $100,000 a month, making over $1 million a year. You know, would you be the first millionaire in your family? What would it do for you and your mom and your dad and your brother and your sister and your aunt and your uncle and anybody else in your life that you love? What would that kind of money do for you? Okay, so the next time you tell yourself that 3% a month is nothing, like don't think about your money. Think about how you can leverage your skill over time. And that's with $10 million, guys. Like imagine, I mean, well, obviously you just put a couple more zeros behind that. But imagine managing $1 billion, which is not hard to do. There's over $5 trillion a day that gets thrown around in the Forex markets, guys. Now, of course, spot trading is less than 2 trillion, but there's still trillions of dollars that go around on the retail trading side as well. And 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. So managing $1 billion in terms of Forex is really not a hard feat to do over, a 5-10 year period of time, which is where I would love to be in the future. Okay, so $1 billion, let's say you're averaging 3% a month. Oops, 1 billion times 0.03. You're making $30 million a month, and then you get to keep 35% of that, right? $10 million, right? So, I mean, we're talking like crazy numbers at this point, right? So, I mean, you could even be doing 10% of that, right? Which we were just looking at. But, guys, this is what I'm saying. This is the way you should look at Forex. Not, oh, I'm going to try to turn my $1,000 to $10,000 and then $10,000 to $100,000 next week. No, guys, that's not the way that you leverage Forex. That's not the way Forex works. And that's why so many people fail. Because everybody is going about it the wrong way. You observe what the masses do, and you do the opposite. That's what I do. I observe what everybody else does on social media. I see everybody online advertising 1,000% gain in a month. We'll invest $500 with us today, and we'll give you $5,000 next week. Like, observe what the masses do, and do the opposite of them. Okay? So, hopefully, that's a little enlightenment to those of you guys that are watching this right now, because that's my goals. Those are my personal goals. That's where I'm headed. That's the direction I'm going. So I go back to what I originally said, right? Where are you going to be in 5 years? Because I know where I'm going to be. And are you gonna be real with yourself? Are you gonna drop the ego and start taking it seriously and buckle up and get ready for this amazing journey and this amazing ride that you're gonna go through? Or are you gonna continue to let that egotistical mindset control you to wanting to just perceiving that you're just going to get rich in the next couple months? It's not the way it works, guys. Okay? So, there we go, guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. I see a lot of comments in here. I agree with all you guys. You guys are all saying some really nice things. Bob Proctor, also another great one. Yep. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for listening to this. If you got value out of today, smash that like button. If you don't have a YouTube account to press like, make a YouTube account. You guys can, I do not mind being your first subscriber. Come along for the journey. Subscribe to me. Turn the little bell for notifications on so you get posted, because, guys, I bought a $3,000 camera setup when I was out in Thailand, right? I am planning on putting that to work and making some crazy content for you guys. I mean, obviously the course is there, but I'm talking like other great content as well on YouTube, between lifestyle content and trading content and just really high quality, long format content for you guys throughout 2019. You definitely want to be subscribed, because it's not just going to be the weekly outlooks anymore I don't even know. I'll probably make my first video once I get settled and everything in my new place. But guys, I'm so excited for what's to come in 2019. I hope you guys all smash your goals. I hope you all crush your goals. I hope you all have stuff written down. Write your freaking goals down too. Write your goals down. You have a 40% higher chance of achieving your goals if you write them down. So write down your goals, have a vision board, have a plan, because what do they say? A goal written down, a dream written down becomes a goal a goal written down with a date becomes a plan, and a plan becomes reality, or you guys know that, whatever that cliche saying is. But it's true. It's true. Like, I can't tell you how many goals I had on my vision board at the beginning of 2018 that I've completely crushed